What's up, JEFusion fans? This is Phil back with another video. So, last time I had made a review of Kamen Rider Geats, the movie, non-spoiler version. So, if you haven't seen that, link is down in the description. So, that's also back to back with the review of the Kingohger movie as well. So, recently I have made a spoiler version of the Kingohger movie, which is also down in the link in the description if you want to see that as well, or if you haven't seen it yet. But now let's move on to Kamen Rider Geats, the movie for Aces and the Black Fox. And as you can see in my hand, yes, this is the Geats Oneness Core ID that appears in the film, and you can only get this when you go to the theaters. So yeah. Um Now time to talk about the spoilerific parts. So if you don't want spoilers, again, go ahead and check the spoiler-free version of my review, because I am going to talk about some important points in the story's plot so that I can give you guys a more honest review of the movie. So anyways, let's start with the show. So from the future come Mera and Mero, so two uh, future humans who wanted to basically hunt down gods, and in order to do that, so they needed Ace's power. So what they did is that they used a machine to separate the world into four parts. I don't know what's the deal with that, but with those four worlds separated, so Ace has been separated into four versions of himself. So the first version that we see, so for some reason it's set in the Wild West with Ace dressed as a cowboy, and you see Michinaga and Win, aka Punk Jack, by the way. So for some reason, yeah, they're all bunched up in that world. So in that world, or in that dimension, Ace is super strong, but he's super dumb. Okay, so that's the deal with it. And the best part about this, so there was a scene that where Ace as Geats, so he throws Buffa as a missile onto the enemies and freaking misses. Imagine if you were Michinaga. Man, that scene was hilarious. Of course, I couldn't laugh out loud in the movie because I don't want to disturb all the other audiences, because man, it was so quiet. But like, how dumb was it? So, moving on to the next dimension. So, Ace is stuck with Neon, and it's just the two of them for some reason. So, uh, it looks like they are stuck in like Meiji era Japan, so like the early 1900s or something, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so Geats or Ace in that time period or dimension is very smart. So he is very smart, but he is super wimpy. So he is the complete opposite of the Wild West version. So he is very intellectual, but again, his body cannot handle like even riding a rickshaw. So yeah. Next, moving on to the third dimension, that I guess we see the third version of Ace. So so here in this dimension, he is stuck with Tsumori and Sae Ganaha, aka Kamen Rider Lopo. So so she appears really badass in this scene, and I just uh, I was just like silently fanboying over her. Uh, but the Ace in this version or dimension is super dependent on luck. So he's the happy-go-lucky Ace. So he doesn't have the strength or combat prowess. He doesn't have the intellect. he only relies on luck, 100% luck. So, yeah, he manages to avoid most attacks from the enemies, but again, well, as with anything, you run out of luck at some point. So now we move on to this fourth world where uh, Ace and the Kawa are dressed like hippies. And for some reason, the Ace in this dimension plays ocarina badly. So when the Jamatos appear, Ace in this dimension couldn't even fight. He is super wimpy. Well, he threw a punch, but that doesn't work. He tried to shoot down enemies using a garden hose or like a sprinkler, like like imagine like this spray bottle. If I tried to gun you down with this and like bam bam bam, right? I mean, imagine, yeah, good luck with that, Ace. So he doesn't have the strength, he doesn't have the intellect, and he doesn't have the luck. So what Meta does is send like 3 copies of a special Jamato into the first 3 worlds. So for some reason, in the fourth one, so this weird Ace with the ocarina, so that enemy Jamato doesn't appear. And what happens is this Jamato absorbs Ace and sends them to Meta so that he can create his own version of the Boost Mark 9 or Boost Mark 3 actually, but it becomes Mark 9 when you completely open it, but you get the point. So he gets his own copy of that, which is a black version. So this is where we get the Black Fox. So yeah, Ace tries to, I guess, fight him off, or uh, so this fourth Ace that remains, so this weird Ace, so tries to fight off, you know, Meta, but to no avail. Even with the boost, or even with the Geats Mark 9 form, they are so almost evenly matched, with the exception of, again, Ace's like strength, intellect, and luck being drained out of him. So in order to create that dark version of the Boost Mark 9, and of course we see all the other riders in action. So there comes a scene where we see Kamen Rider Kato, so the old guy. So I do love seeing him because he gets to transform again into Kamen Rider Kato, and he fights off Jamato by himself, but not without some help. Of course, he is kind of overwhelmed when some new rider appears. Yes, that's Kamen Rider Gotchard. So, Gotchard appears, transforms into his like hopper, steam engine, or steam hopper form. So, and of course beats the enemies with it, and gives a blank card to Kamen Rider Kato after the fight. So again, this blank Chemi card would come into play later, but uh, I'll get to that when we get to probably the climax. But nonetheless, so it's revealed that the remaining Ace, so this weird ocarina playing one, is the heart of Ace. So uh, you know, Meta compares Ace, or Meta compares his creation of the dark version of the Boost Mark III raise buckle. So like he only wanted the strength, intellect, and luck, but com- like he says, like the remaining part is like just trash, like you don't need it. But it turns out that the heart of Ace becomes the most important thing, apparently. So this is the Ace that never gives up. This is the Ace that always is I don't know, like, well, without his intellect and strength and luck, I don't know. But again, this is the ace that is willing to fight even though he can't. But then again, so he tries to combat uh, Meta in his dark Geats form, or cross Geats as we call it. So we move on to the finale, or the climax of the movie. So uh, basically, Meta and Mero succeeded in actually trying to end the world. Yes, they did end the world, and I gotta applaud them. However, because they are, for some reason, some of the villains who actually succeeded in doing so. If I believe there have been villains who, kind of succeeded, but we all know that the writers will find a way to come back and defeat them. So yeah, that's what happens. So they do kind of succeed in destroying the world, and you know, all that remains are the other writers. So they focus all their essences, their souls into Ace, and that's how we get the Oneness Core ID. So Tsumuri also gives Ace, for some reason, a special buckle, which is shaped like I forgot the name. I'm sorry, but this is the special raise buckle that is used to activate the Geats oneness. So with the oneness core ID, so the Gotchard buckle, you could say. So it's the Gotchard buckle, and that blank Chemi card, probably, and most likely the one that Kato receives from Gotchard. So uh, it becomes the oneness, or Geats oneness card. So he puts it into the buckle, inserts it into the desired driver, of course, along with the oneness core ID. So he transforms into Geats oneness and basically defeats, Meta. Actually, after being betrayed by Meta. So seeing that he's overpowered by this Geats oneness, so she turns on him, and using a machine, so she turns him into a giant. Like, what the hell did you do to me, right? But whatever. I'm going to use this giant size to, try and crush Geats. But ultimately, it fails, and with the power of friendship and oneness, uh, Ace saves the day. Uh, it's not mentioned if Mera and Mero survived, although I'm pretty sure Mero did. So she got her comeuppance with probably one of the best rider kicks I've ever seen in the franchise, in which Tsumori finds her and delivers the best rider kick that a non-rider has ever delivered in the entirety of the franchise, which is so amazing. So it is said that they were captured and sent back to the future because they were fugitives anyway. So I guess they got their comeuppance, but I'm not sure how Meta had survived that attack from Ace. So I guess he missed a vital part, even though technically we see Ace like pass through Meta as cross gate. So I wonder that how that happened. But yeah, so the day is saved. The world eventually goes back to normal, and we have the credit scene, which is the only time we see Sarah, by the way. So, if you don't remember Sarah, she's Keiwa's sister, aka Kamen Rider Hakubi. So, that's the only time we see Sarah in the credits. Like, she doesn't eat, like, we see her try to speak some lines, but it's not, like, voiced, or like there's no voice in it. Like you just see a clip of Keiwa and Sara walking in the park, and Michinaga passes by and like sees that well, at least his conscience is guilt free, like seeing that again Sara is back, because technically he was the one who seemingly killed her a few episodes ago, a few episodes before the film. So yeah. uh but we see Gene in this story, so he acts as like our guide. So he's the one who's breaking the fourth wall, talking to the audience. And by the end of the film, like Tsumori says that you are a Kamen Rider, so congratulations, you're now a Kamen Rider. And again, this is talking to the audience. So yeah, the film ends, and I guess that's it. So yeah, as for the film, like the plot is super confusing, to be completely honest. Like uh so I only understood Meta's goal the moment that he was able to form the Cross Geats buckle, that dark version of the Boost Mark 3. So uh like again, like I didn't understand like how they got their hands on. Again, maybe off camera, but Kato hands over the Kemi card so that Tsumori can use it. But for some reason, the form that saves the day is a form that required another Kamen Rider to make, basically, with the help of Gotchard, indirectly in this case, because he doesn't really help in the fight against you know the boss, just like how Ace, when he first appeared in the revised movie. So he wasn't with Ikki, so he was somewhere else trying to show off his skills. So similar things happen, but for some reason here in this movie, you know I guess Gotchard was required to be the MacGuffin to form this, to save the day, like have Ace become his strongest, quote unquote. So this happens again. I wouldn't say canonically, although there has been a time, so probably is as well. But I'm not sure how they're going to mention it in the finale. I mean, like after the film, like it's still on, by the way, in movie theaters, but uh, I don't know how they're going to connect it to the final episode. Like after at least the TV appearance of Mera and Mero, I don't really understand anything. I tried to, but it's just hard to wrap my head around it. So, like the plot was quite confusing. Uh, like the power ups, like it really makes me want to wonder, like have the writers really planned this through? I mean, I get it, like you're also trying to promote the new writer, but like in Battle Familia about a year ago, like Ikki did not really have the power of Ace, right? Ace didn't. I mean, again, Ace appeared and fought off some of the Gift Juniors, and tried to slow down Daemon a little bit. But the power up that came in Battle Familia was the Kamen Rider Igarashi. Uh, so the combination of course, Revise at that time, uh, Live and Jan. So the Igarashi siblings came together as one, literally, right? And that became their power up for the film, which makes sense. But here in Geats the movie, right? So why is Gotchard required? I would probably understand like having the Geats oneness core ID, you know, being the base when probably like the other riders granted their powers to Ace, so that he can be a bit more powerful. But again, using a Chemi card, uh, really, that's just Bandai promoting the new rider, which was quite low in my opinion, right? Like introducing a new form for the movie, fine, I understand that. But using the next rider as a requirement is just, I don't know, like poor writing in my opinion. But in general, again, it was an entertaining movie. I loved some of it. Again, like for example, Geats throwing Buffa as a missile, Saya being a badass, and well, Kato transforming into his rider form one more time. So yeah, so those are just some parts that I liked about the movie, but in general, it's meh. And as much as I liked Haruka Kudo in Lupin Ranger versus Pato Ranger, I was really underwhelmed as to how she was used. Like she was just basically Mera's sidekick, and like the only significant thing she does in the film is like betray Mera and get her comeuppance in the end. But other than that, for most of the film, like Mero doesn't do much. You know, she's just there to have Meta explain everything. Like, why are you doing this? Like, what's your goal in this one? And then Meta just explains why. So yeah, like again, the movie in general was entertaining, but it's also in general very confusing. So I don't know, but that's just me. If probably soon you could find the movie online, you can try to watch it if you want. But yeah, as of my saying this, I'm gonna give Kamen Rider Geats 4 aces and the Black Fox, or yeah, 4 aces and the Black Fox, a 3. So I'm not going to be very mean. I'm not sure if I gave a 3.5, but looking at the movie right now, it's completely mid, right? Uh, like I said before in my spoiler-free review, I really liked Kingohger much better. So if you're going to watch it back to back, like focus on the Kingohger movie. Although, yeah, you probably would have, and like if you're in Japan, you paid money and you're gonna watch both movies anyway. But like again, honestly, like how uh like if you're watching those movies back to back, like you're hyped because of Kingohger, and then you're just so disappointed by the time like Geats comes in. Like a lot of Super Sentai films, for most of the time, I believe like they're just glorified episodes. Like they're only slightly longer than the TV episode runtime of like 20-25 minutes. Let's say 30 if you add the commercials. So like 30 minutes straight of pure storytelling and action really works great uh, with Kingohger the movie. But again, I personally would have liked it if it were longer. So yeah, like it's a good 1.5 hours for Kamen Rider Geats. And again, like uh Kingohger the movie could have used that extra 30 minutes to show more of that storyline. Like again, more detailed events of what happens in the underworld and after that. So yeah, like it, like imagine like really having a really good appetizer, but when the main dish arrives, like like you probably wish you had more appetizer at that point. So that's what I'm trying to say. So anyways, that's my review of Kamen Rider Geats the movie. Well, as much as I would love to end this video on a really high note, yeah, the movie just doesn't really end on a high note for me. I mean, again, like I said, and there were some parts that I really loved about it, but most of the time, yeah, meh. So that's my brutally honest opinion of the movie. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching. Again, my reviews are in the links in the description below. So go check it go check them out as well. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching, and as always, please do leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell so you get the latest from JEFusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you next time. Bye.